Now, bulk or cut? It's a question everyone asks, but no one really gives a solid answer to. And it gets even more complicated when you're still just a teenager, still growing and developing in your own body, just like me. You know, when your hormones are at an all-time high. You most probably already have searched for this exact question many times before, but you're still not sure of what you should actually be doing. Like, okay, bulk if you're skinny and cut when you're fat. But what the fuck do I do? I'm not fat or skinny. I do have this stomach and kind of flabby chest, but also really skinny arms. I do have a bit of muscle, but it doesn't even look that good and I don't want to get fat. Will I not grow if I cut? You should be eating more during puberty, right? How do I bulk to not get fat? Bro, chill. I know how that feels. I've been there too. Asking the same questions, having the same problems and constantly going through the same exact bullshit of changing my mind about what I should be doing with my diet. But now we're here. I made a ton of progress. I made a ton of mistakes that I have already learned from. And today I will tell you how you can also do it in the right way. So we won't have to go through all of this bullshit, reinventing the wheel, trying all of those different weight loss diets that don't even work, but get a clear path you can walk through to your goal. And finally stop asking those stupid ass questions online. So let's bring it down to the different parts of this video. The first one is find out your actual calorie intake. If you already know your maintenance, what lean bulking is, what bulking is, what cutting is, you can just already skip this part of the video just to not waste any time. But for anyone that's actually quite new to the topic, let's start from the bottom, right? Cutting. Cutting is basically eating less than you're able to burn. So if you have maintenance, this is your maintenance. If you eat in the maintenance, you will not lose or gain weight. This is your maintenance. When you're eating below your maintenance, that means you're cutting. And by doing this, you will obviously lose weight. The more drastic the cutting phase is, the more weight you will lose, but it's not always the healthiest way to do it. Just like I said before, maintenance is eating the same amount of calories every single day, so you won't lose or gain weight. Now, lean bulking and bulking are two different things. Let me speak about lean bulking first. Lean bulking is eating just a bit more above your maintenance, so you can slightly gain more weight week by week without gaining excessive amounts of fat. And most probably you're going to be eating only 200 or 300 calories above your maintenance to consider it a lean bulk. Now, bulking is the real deal. It is eating even 500 calories above your maintenance to actually put on some serious mass, even some fat. This was bulking. There is also dirty bulking, which is literally a meme. It is about eating as much food as physically possible, so you would just go completely bear mode, right? So you get so huge and so scrumptious that you are so strong that you can bench 225 for 12 reps without taking any breaks. Now I'm just taking a piss, but you should not be dirty bulking. It's just really unhealthy and most probably you will actually just get fat instead of muscular and strong. So now welcome to the second part of today's video. Now we will figure out what is your body type. Where would you put yourself on the scale? Here is skinny and here is fat. You're gonna want to bulk hard if you're really skinny. I'm not saying to dirty bulk, but bulk, right? So eat like 500 calories above your maintenance to do it. So if you're like here, if you're pretty damn skinny, bulk. Don't be scared of gaining some fat alongside some muscle. Now, if you're in the middle, if you're like skinny fat or if you are just normal weight but want to gain some size, right? You will want to lean bulk, which is most probably the healthiest option of all. So eating slightly above your maintenance, so you slowly and gradually become stronger, bigger and more bulked up, right? That's what I've been doing for the past 2 years maybe. Now, maintain your calorie intake if you're a bit chubby. So if here's the scale, you are like above here, like about here, then you want to maintain, because with training, and it might be kind of counterintuitive, right? Because if you're maintaining but you're still chubby, does not that mean that you will remain chubby? Not really, because if you actually pair it with physical training, you won't be chubby anymore, because now you will have some muscle, which will fill out your frame and you won't look chubby. You will just be a bit more bulked than your friends, which is not that bad because they will be literally scared to tease you. Cut only if you are obese, and I will speak about that a bit later. You see, when we are teenagers, right? We are like age 13 to, I don't know, 18. If you're still a teenager, you want to cut only and only when it's necessary, when you're literally obese. So now a question appears, because you've been thinking of this like the whole video, right? How do I know how many calories do I have to eat to achieve my goals? Like, okay, but how do I know if I'm eating the right amount of calories every single day? Now there is a bunch of apps that I've listed on this channel like 100 times before. Just download one of the apps, the calorie tracking apps on your phone. I use Fitatu or MyFitnessPal. Other people use Macrometer or some bullshit like that. Now, you might have already one of those just laying around in your kitchen, not being used for years. But if you don't, buy a food scale, like a kitchen scale, right? The food scale, so you can know how much you're eating. And just start tracking your calories every single day. And you will get better and better at it the deeper you go into this journey. Now, point 3 of today's video. Is it safe to cut as a teenager? And how to do it in the most healthy manner? I'd say it is a bit risky. So just like I said, cut only when there is a need to. If you're not like really fat, then just maintain. A solution for some of you that are pretty damn chubby would simply be to eat just slightly below your maintenance whilst building muscle. Okay, now just before we move on with the video, let me change the chair because literally I have a sweaty butt right now. Now I'm pretty sure that this chair will make a bunch of noises, but yeah, I just can't stand this fucking chair because, bro, my ass is sweaty, bro. So now for the next part of today's video, I will tell you some very valuable tips that you will want to use in your journey. And these tips are specifically about weight loss. So the first tip is intermittent fasting. You might already know what fasting is, but if you don't, just let me explain. Fasting is just eating in a very specific time of the day. For most people, it's, let's say, 8 hours, and they have an 8-hour window in their day. They start at, let's say, 10 a.m. up to 6 p.m. This is the 8-hour eating window. And obviously they only will eat in the 8 hours of the day, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. It has many different health benefits also, alongside making cutting a lot easier. Now also there is a much more extreme way of fasting. This is prolonged fasting, which means that you will not eat for days anything that has calories. So let's say water, coffee, tea does not have any calories, so obviously you can drink these, but soda or actual food, you don't do none of that stuff, bro. In prolonged fasting, you just don't eat for, let's say, 24 hours. And I'm not exactly telling you to do this, but if you're actually like in need to lose some weight and if you're actually obese, then it might be a thing to consider. The next tip is just very basic. It's eating quality food. So eating high quality food. When you're eating low quality food like junk food or ice cream or anything of that sort, you won't be satisfied during the day, so you will try to eat more and more. But by eating stuff that actually fills you up, like meat, fruits, veggies, grains, you won't feel hungry during the day, which will then make cutting much easier. Next tip is kind of a hack, and it's quite obvious also. Just drink a bunch of water. Drink a lot of water. And the next tip is basically involve some cardio, some movement during the day. Best is gym plus some walking or swimming or jogging or bike riding. Just please don't sit on your ass all day, because that will result in you being very unhealthy and most probably overweight. So this was about cutting. Now let's move on to the stuff that you've most probably been waiting all day for. So the fourth part of today's video. Is it safe to bulk as a teenager and how to do it? Bro, it's necessary to bulk as a teenager. You're still growing. Fuel your body with some energy so you can grow. But don't go above 300 calories over your maintenance, so you just won't get fat. Like, unless you have to, because you're very skinny, just don't go above 300 or 400 calories above your maintenance. So lean bulk. But if you have to, so if you're very, very skinny, then go on a proper bulk, so 500 calories or even above. Now, many people do this mistake of, oh, I want to get big, so I will dirty bulk. Like, yeah, eat shitty food so I can put on as much mass as physically possible. Yeah, 5,000 calories a day is nothing, bro. And they get fat, feel like shit, get very unhealthy and look exceptionally unattractive. To avoid that, think of it as a long-term goal. Just slowly and gradually gaining some muscle alongside with just a bit of fat for years and years and years, and finally revealing your muscles by cutting. Only when you're ready to do so. And most probably by this time you won't be a teenager anymore. I am a living example because I've been bulking for the past 3 years, and the next year I'm turning 18, and only once I'm 18 I will cut down. Even if I have a bunch of muscle now, I will still bulk for the upcoming year and only then cut down. I just don't want to fuck up my hormones and stunt my growth and shit. And I also don't really like bulking, you know? I have this story of mine, like, I've never really found eating food that nice. And especially if I just have this many calories to eat, let's say 3,500 on a bulk that I'm currently trying to eat, I actually rarely enjoy eating the food in the first place because I'm constantly full. I'm constantly bloated and I don't really enjoy eating that much, right? Most probably that's also the reason why I've been very, extremely skinny for most of my life. Like ages 12 to 14, I've been very skinny. Okay, I am a complete dumbass because I literally forgot to give you some bulking tips. I've spoke about weight loss tips, but I forgot to give you weight gain tips, right? For my biggest weight gain tip currently I can give you is eat more frequently. Eat more meals during the day. Sometimes even up to 4, 5 or even 6 meals a day, and I'm not kidding. Or just do it pretty much just like me. Eat 3 big ass meals plus some additional snacks, which often results in a bunch of calories at the end of the day. The second tip is buy bigger plates. By having bigger plates, you will just genuinely eat more because you have more place to put your food on, right? You will start to just automatically eat bigger portions, which is very good for weight gain. The third tip that I can give you is to eat faster. I just genuinely find it a lot easier when I'm just trying to eat quite fast, but not to vomit or some shit, but eat quite fast before my brain senses that I'm full. By doing this, I'm able to finish up my meals a lot quicker and without putting in that much effort, without having to stuff my face with food when I'm clearly not hungry. Tip number 4 is put sauces on your meals. Sauces are very high in calories. Tip number 5 is eat products high in fats. Eggs, red meats, oils and butter, nuts and sauces also. Bro, sauces are heavily caloric dense. Fat is overall the most caloric dense nutrient of them all. So why not eat more fats? And the tip number 6 is subscribe to Abnormal, because if you want, you will remain skinny for the rest of your life and stay abnormal.